Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Beyond the Evidence, the podcast where we dive deep into true crime cases, uncovering the facts and exploring the unanswered questions that keep us coming back for more. I'm your host, Marv, and I want to thank you for joining me today. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. And if you'd like to support the channel, you can find links to my PayPal and Cash App in the description. Now, let's get into today's topic.
Breaking all the patterns, facts and theories, clues and controversy. Join the journey, uncovering the mystery. This is Beyond the Evidence, where justice prevails, with Marv leading the way. Truth never fails. Now get ready for this live stream. Super chat, highlight your message. Don't fall victim to the irrelevance. Hit that, like, share, subscribe to Marv's Beyond the Evidence.
Hello, everyone. There we go. Sorry about that. I've been suffering from migraines and fell asleep, and my alarm was going off but with no sound, so I am here. Let's see. So I am so sorry I'm late. No, I didn't forget. Awesome. Oh, look at that. Mustang, thank you so much. Andrea, thank you. They've got a new goal thing now that I'm able to set. Louise, nice to see you. All right. So I wanted to update everybody on the Charlie Kirk assassination. There are so many things going on in this case. Last time I went live about this, they were still looking for the suspect. So tonight, we're going to bring you major updates. There was an arrest. Absolutely. And investigators and prosecutors and political leaders have revealed a tremendous amount of new information since that arrest. Just a quick background. Charlie, he was gunned down on September 10th at 12:23 p.m. while speaking at Utah Valley University. The person fired from the rooftop of a campus building roughly 175 yards away, and it struck him in the neck while he was answering a question about mass shootings, of all things. If you've seen the video, it's very, very, very gory. There was a tremendous amount of blood that came flowing out of that wound. as it did hit his carotid artery. And when something like that happens, we all know that chaos erupts and breaks out in the crowd. People saw this live. His wife and one of his daughters was there. They saw it live. Some of the 911 calls captured witnesses saying he just got shot in the middle of his speech. And they did rush him off out of the canopy into a black SUV. And other people were shouting he was hit in the neck on the 911 calls. Oh, I forgot I have a surprise for you guys tonight. Hang on one second. It's going to go full screen on me. Okay, so let's listen while it plays. Authorities quickly identified the suspect as 22-year-old Tyler Robinson. The FBI released photos and videos within hours. I would say not within hours, but within days. Robinson's father and mother recognized him in those images and confronted him. The next day, with the help of a clergy friend, Robinson turned himself in at the Washington County Sheriff's Office with his parents and that family friend who ended up being a minister. FBI Director Kash Patel credited public tips. There was more than 11,000 tips in the first 24 hours. And Robinson's father, and he thanked Robinson's father for ending the manhunt. The case against Robinson has grown stronger by the day. There is a lot of evidence, you guys. A lot of evidence in this case. And I'm going to talk about some of that evidence now. There is DNA that was found that tied him to this crime. And it was found on the towel wrapped around the discarded rifle and on a screwdriver left on the rooftop. And for all the time that I've been looking at this and watching things on this, yesterday was the first time I heard about the screwdriver left on the rooftop. Because as far as I had heard, nothing else was left on the rooftop because he jumped down and ran. The crazy part of it all was there were texts and notes. Robinson was living with a man who was transitioning to be a female. It is confirmed that they were in a relationship and that this, I'm going to call her a woman because that is what she's striving to be. This woman was part of the furry world. Now, I don't get the furry world, and why they dress up as furries. I've heard about it. My daughter has tried to explain it. I don't know what motivation that has. Some people say it's sexual. Some people say it's kind of like the Korean and the Japanese shows. I call them Japanime. My husband laughs at me when I say that. But they obviously were in a relationship, and Tyler told the roommate to check underneath his keyboard. Drop what you're doing and look under my keyboard, he says. Underneath was a note. I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it. In follow-up text, Robinson confessed, I am so sorry. I had enough of this hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out. So part of his motive was hatred. I'm sure part of the motive was the fact that he was in a relationship with a transgender person. And that was all frowned upon by Charlie. Charlie was a very religious man who believed that you were to grow up as a man, marry a woman, and have kids. Were to grow up. Hang on. As a man, marry a woman, and have kids. Were to grow up. Hang on. As a man. All right, I'm just going to turn that down. All of a sudden, the live came on my phone. So there was communication. There was text. There was messages. And the significant other shared this all with police. She has been very, very, very cooperative. There was also a lot of conversations on Discord. And he allegedly posted on Discord that he said, hey guys, I have bad news for you all. It was me at UVU yesterday. I'm sorry for all of this. And in other chats, he joked about a doppelganger before admitting it was actually him. So, one of the things that really confuses me is his state of mind. Because you don't go out and do something like this and then usually tell people that you did it. Especially when you were trying to get away with it and keep it quiet. You know, there was a manhunt. Nobody knew it was you at that point. Although now we know that they had those photographs that clearly showed who he was. They were going to find him. So my question to you guys is, why do you think he went out and said this stuff on Discord and told people that it was him? Then there was the ammunition. The ammunition had specific engravings on it. One said, notices bulge, UWU, what's this? I haven't figured out what that meant yet. Second one was, hey fascist, catch, arrow up, arrow side, arrow down, arrow down, arrow down. These were the arrows were the movements you would make in a game. And apparently it was, in this game, it was to build a bomb. Then there was lyrics from the anthem Bella. And the fourth one said, if you read this, you are gay. LMAO. Okay. Not sure why reading this would mean you were gay, because we all know that's not how that works. That's a choice. It was just some weird things. Andrew says attention. He did it for attention. You think he went and told other people for attention? I don't know. I just think, to me, it was one of those, when I heard that, it was like one of the dumbest, on one of the dumbest criminal shows, they would have him on there. Because they actually went and told people what he did. But at the same time, none of those people that we know of went to authorities. It was his dad in the end that turned him in. So maybe it wasn't a dumb move, but then at the same time, those other people that he told in that Discord, why didn't they say anything? Why didn't they go to cops? Why didn't they go to the police and tell the police that this guy is in the chat room saying all these things, that he did it? You know? Instead, they stayed quiet. So yesterday, there was a court hearing, and Tyler has formally been charged with 7 counts. And those counts include aggravated murder, felony discharge of a firearm, obstruction of justice, witness tampering, and violent offense in the presence of a child. They didn't say what kind of discord it was. So maybe it was, and that's why nobody said something. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Yeah, that could be why they didn't tell police. So I understood all of the charges, except for the violent offense in the presence of a child. And yesterday, when I watched the hearing, which was very short, they explained it was because there was children in the audience. And they did announce that they are going to seek the death penalty in this case. Now, when he was at the hearing, he was brought in virtually. I'm sure you all saw it. He was in that, they call it this turtle suit. And basically what that is that he doesn't have any clothes on underneath. He's put in this suit, and he's put in a special cell that pretty much doesn't have anything in it, including, I found out, a toilet. Instead, there is a hole in the ground in the cell, and that is what they use to go to the bathroom. And that's for his protection, because prior to turning himself in, he had already mentioned to his family about taking his own life. So I'm sure he'll be in that type of cell for a while yet, until they know for a fact that mentally he's better and he won't use the opportunity to take his life. He appeared emotionless, no emotion on his face, very stoic, straightforward, looked at the camera, spoke only to confirm his name when the judge asked him what his name was. And he's being held without bail. We all knew that was going to happen. They're not going to give him bail for what he did. His next hearing is scheduled for the 29th. Yeah, and he didn't move a muscle either. He was very, very stoic, very still, only said his name. I don't even think he blinked a whole lot. That's how stoic he was. And I know that's something that you can't control, but I didn't see him blink a whole lot. They did say that today or tomorrow he should receive his, be appointed his public defender. So they're still working to appoint qualified counsel for him. And the counsel that they appoint to him has to be death penalty certified because the prosecution has already stated they are going for that penalty. And the local public defender's office usually it does not have that standard. And they don't have the background to treat somebody or to defend somebody for that type of case. So it's kind of like the Richard Allen trial that was taking place. They have to find death certified attorneys to represent him. So what else has happened? Well, in the aftermath, a 71-year-old named George Zinn was briefly arrested after this happened at UVU, and it was because he was shouting, I shot him, shoot me. He later admitted he said this to let the real suspect get away. Craziest thing I ever heard. So, though unrelated to the Kirk case, investigators searching his phone discovered, you know what they discovered, child images. And he now faces serious charges on these counts. Oh, what can I say? What can I say? Another moment on the dumbest criminal. You do all this, you make this noise so that whatever person can get away. And here you have this crap on your phone so that when they arrest you or take you into, because you said this, they take you into custody and they search your phone. They find out all these images, and now he is in serious trouble. Let's see here. You would think, but that's usually not how it works because you have to go through more schooling and everything and you have to have more certification to be death penalty certified. So it's not just something that each and every lawyer has. They have to choose to get that certification, pay extra money for the certification. I mean, remember, this is a person's life on the line. You don't want just any willy-nilly lawyer taking care of them and representing them. How many of you watched Erika Kirk's tearful tribute that she made? If you haven't seen it, it is on the Charlie Kirk YouTube channel. And she did vow that her husband's voice will remain. And we're going to take a look at it here. It's not very long. So let me get that here for you. Now, if you thought that there would not be anything on the Charlie Kirk show channel, you are mistaken. There actually has been quite a bit on there. Share screen. Now, it took a little bit for her to actually come out. I can't imagine how hard this was for her. But we are going to listen to what she had to say. Let me know if you can hear it.
Good evening. My name is Erika Kirk. Charlie Kirk is my husband. I first want to thank the local, state, and federal law enforcement who worked tirelessly to capture my husband's assassin so that he can be brought to justice. I want to thank the first responders who struggled heroically to save Charles's life, and the police who acted bravely to make sure that there were no other victims on that terrible afternoon. I want to thank the officers who have protected our Turning Point USA family these past 2 days.
Can you imagine how hard it would be to go get up there and to say all of this within 72 hours of her husband being brutally murdered?
And I want to thank the Turning Point USA board, the COO, Justin Strive, and my husband's chief of staff, the amazing Mikey McCoy, for all their work in these terrible days to be the stability for our family and for the wider Turning Point USA family as well. My heart is with every one of my husband's employees who lost a friend and a mentor. I want to thank the staffers of his amazing Charlie Kirk show, who helped him broadcast from the studio, this chair every day. He loved what he did. I want to thank the millions of people who have shown their love for Charlie here in Phoenix, across America, and worldwide. I want to thank my husband's dear friend, Vice President Vance, and his phenomenal wife, Usha.
Usha and Vance were very, very instrumental in helping her get back home. They brought Charlie's body back on Air Force 2. Usha was with her every step of the way. In one of the videos, you can see Erika doubling over and Usha grabbing her and just holding onto her. when they got to the airport.
For their love and support. You guys honored my husband so well bringing him home. You both are tremendous. I want to thank President Trump and his incredible family for the same. Mr. President, my husband loved you. And he knew that you loved him too. He did. Your friendship was amazing. You supported him so well, as did he for you. 2 days ago, my husband, Charlie, went to see the face of his Savior and his God.
Now we know he's
Charlie always said that when he was gone, he wanted to be remembered for his courage and for his faith. And one of the final conversations that he had on this earth, my husband witnessed for his Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Now and for all eternity, he will stand at his Savior's side, wearing the glorious crown of a martyr. Charlie loved life. He loved his life. He loved America. He loved nature, which helped him always bring him closer to God. He loved the Chicago Cubs. And my goodness, did he love the Oregon Ducks.
Now, I don't know much about the Oregon Ducks, but I can definitely relate with him to the Chicago Cubs.
Want me to say go Ducks, so I have to since they play on Saturday. So go Ducks. But most of all, Charlie loved his children. And he loved me with all of his heart. And I knew that. Every day I knew that. He made sure I knew that every day. Every day he would ask me, how can I serve you better? How can I be a better husband? How can I be a better father? Every day. Every day. He was such a good man. He still is a good man. He was the perfect father. He was the perfect husband. Charlie always believed that God's design for marriage and the family was absolutely amazing, and it is. It is, and it was the greatest joy of his life. And over, he would tell all these young people to come and find their future spouse, become wives and husbands and parents. And the reason why is because he wanted you all to experience what he had and still has. He wanted everyone to bring heaven into this earth through love and joy that comes from raising a family. It's beautiful. Charlie always said that if he ever ran for office, I know a lot of you asked if he ever was going to, but privately he told me if he ever did run for office that his top priority would be to revive the American family. That was his priority. One of Charlie's favorite Bible verses was
I'm going to stop it there because she said he wanted to revive the American family. In what we look at every day and what we hear, that's something that is needed in this country right now, especially with the fact that you hear about all of these kids that go missing or have been taken by the hands of their own parents. It's horrific. It's horrendous. Each story gets worse and worse. So it would have been interesting to see how he would have gone about doing that. And if that would have stopped some of the things that we see so often right now. So yeah, I just reflect back when I hear things like that and just wonder. And I know we can't say what if, because now that's not going to happen. But it definitely would have been something that I would have been interested in seeing.
Ephesians 5, verse 25. Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. My husband laid down his life for me, for our nation, for our children. He showed the ultimate and true covenantal love. I will never, ever have the words to describe the loss that I feel in my heart. I honestly have no idea what any of this means. I know that God does, but I don't. But Charlie, baby, I know you do too. I know you do. So does our Lord. And our world is filled with evil. But our God, you guys, our God is so good. So incredibly good. And we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to his purpose. Already I have seen the worldwide outpouring of love for my husband. I've heard the testimonies from people my husband inspired to get married, to start families, to seek out a relationship with God. It's the most important one of all. The evildoers responsible for my husband's assassination have no idea what they have done. They killed Charlie because he preached a message of patriotism, faith, and of God's merciful love. But they should all know this. If you thought that my husband's mission was powerful before, you have no idea. You have no idea what you just have unleashed across this entire country and this world. You have no idea.
That is a very powerful statement. I mean, a lot of people have said it. She's repeating what has been said in previous days, but the look on her face when she says it makes you kind of stop and think.
You have no idea the fire that you have ignited within this wife. The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry. To everyone listening tonight across America, the movement my husband built will not die. It won't. I refuse to let that happen. It will not die. All of us will refuse to let that happen. No one will ever forget my husband's name, and I will make sure of it.
After she said that, I was kind of curious as to how that was going to happen. But in the upcoming days, not only did she go on Charlie's channel and do this, but Vice President Vance has gone on Charlie's channel and did a 2-hour live, and some of Charlie's friends and employees have also gone on and done lives. So that's how they're going to keep him alive.
It will become stronger, bolder, louder, and greater than ever. My husband's mission will not end, not even for a moment. And one of Charlie's greatest talents was his ability, this phenomenal ability to choose great people to follow him. He could always find the ones who could handle any setback. And it's almost like he knew. He could see it in you. Even when you couldn't see it in yourself, he just knew. He knew you could handle it. You thought you only had 5% left, and he knew you had 15. He knew you were ready to go that extra mile even when you didn't. He always challenged people around him to work harder and to be better.
All right, I'm going to fast forward a little bit here to the end.
Well done, my good and faithful.
Because I'm sure a lot of you have.
And my goodness, am I so humbled to witness Charlie, you alongside Jesus right now.
I'm trying to find the very last part.
I can't wait to see you again one day. And I talked to her and she said, when I got home last night.
Here it is.
Gigi, our daughter, just ran into my arms. And I talked to her and she said, Mommy, I missed you. I said, I miss you too, baby. She goes, where's Daddy? What do you tell a 3-year-old? She's 3. I said, baby, Daddy loves you so much. Don't you worry. He's on a work trip with Jesus, so he can afford your blueberry budget. And my goodness, am I so humbled to witness.
So apparently, the youngest loves blueberries. And that was what she was joking about. As I said, along with that, Vice President Vance has hosted the Charlie Kirk show in a tribute, saying there's no unity with the people who celebrated Charlie's assassination. Former President Trump and advisor Stephen Miller vowed to pursue extremist groups with tools like the RICO Act, framing this as part of a broader fight against political violence. Meanwhile, FBI Director Kash Patel testified before the State Judiciary Committee, confirming there are more than 20 people in Robinson's Discord group that are under investigation. More than 20. So this is not the last we're going to hear of it. They are tracking and looking into everything when it comes to those individuals, who he told, what they knew beforehand, what they knew afterwards. So we have to wait and see. What we do know is that Tyler Robinson has confessed in messages being tied to the crime by DNA and is formally charged with aggravated murder. Prosecutors are pursuing the death penalty. Investigators are still examining his motives, his online radicalization, and whether anyone in his circle had advance notice or knowledge. And that he will be in court again on September 29th. So this remains an ongoing story, one that has shaken us to our core. Because political violence should not happen in America or anywhere in this world. So, one of the other things that I wanted to talk to you guys about was we're seeing people that have made negative comments about this event being fired. And a lot of people are like, well, it's free speech. They shouldn't get fired. Why are they being fired? It's a very easy and simple answer. Every individual that is offered a job receives an employment contract. Okay? In that contract, you have what is called a code of conduct. And this is what your employer is stating will happen if you do not conduct yourself in a professional manner. And one of the things that every code of conduct I've seen has had in it is social media presence. So, if you want to go out and celebrate a man's death, go ahead and do it. But recognize that there will be consequences. You can go out on the internet and make these videos, but the minute you do so, you have to remember you're not just hurting yourself, you're making the company that is tagged and branded on your Facebooks and everything else, your LinkedIn's, you're making them look like they have the same views as you. And if you're speaking in a negative light, that is going to reflect on your employer. And they're not going to accept that. They're going to come out and they are going to fire you for it. And they're going to announce that they fired you for it. They're going to make it known that that as a company, you do not tolerate that behavior. And this happens with each and every company in America. It doesn't matter what your occupation is. I wouldn't be surprised today if every single type of employment you could find has an employment contract and has a code of conduct in that company. And a lot of people skip over this. So I've seen people take pictures in the building where they work and not think twice about it and have information in the background bouncing off a wall or a board or something from a computer monitor and people getting fired for that. You just got to stop and think. You want to rant and rave and do all this stuff? Go ahead. But know that you're not the only one that can be hurt by this. And that's why these people are being fired. Not for what they said. Not for having free speech. But for dishonoring their code of conduct for their employer. It's very important to realize that and understand that. And that's why we're seeing teachers and doctors and pilots and everyday common people with occupations being fired. It's happening to anyone who did this. Doesn't matter what your occupation is. And that is due to the code of conduct. It's a personal choice that you made to go online and have your opinion broadcasted to hundreds, thousands, millions of people. Yeah, news anchors also. It's everybody, you guys. Everybody this is happening to. Jimmy Kimmel's show just got canceled. Well, TMZ is even under fire for this. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So we'll continue to monitor every development from the courtroom, from the investigators, and from the political fallout. Make sure you subscribe and turn on your notifications so you don't miss any updates. I will be putting out some videos about showing the actual hearing on Tyler Robinson tomorrow. I will also be putting out a video about Luigi Manangoli, the one that had a hearing yesterday, who unalived the CEO. And I will also be putting out a short pre-recorded video tomorrow with an update on what happened at the hearing for Jake and Rebecca Harrow, as yesterday they also had a hearing. So you're going to be getting live streams. You're going to be getting pre-recorded videos that are coming out. I may go beyond the 3 a day. You will get 3 notifications a day. If there's more than 3 things that have gone out, make sure that you come back to the channel and check the live tab and the video tab, because you're going to be getting a little bit of both. And that'll help me get more information out and try to keep to my schedule, because I tried to keep to the schedule, but all of these things have been happening. As Andrea said, today, let me see here. 4 police officers were pew-pewed today. 3 are in grave condition, and the shooter unalived himself. And this happened in Pennsylvania. And then also 3 teachers were pew-pewed in Chicago. And we believe that 1 has passed away. So it's happening every day. You cannot keep up with the stories. One last thing before we go. Just wanted to give you an update on Sophia from the shooting in Minneapolis, Minnesota. She is doing a lot better. She has been taken off the critical list and is now on the severe list. So she continues to defy what the doctors thought about they were going to lose her, and continues to get better slowly each and every day. So I want to thank anyone who has sent prayers out for her, for these other individuals that are victims. Just pray for a better world. Pray for the hate and the anger to stop. We need to promote peace and love, and just be a better world. Thank you all for joining me, and I will see you on the flip side. Remember, no matter what kind of crime it is, the victim is not the only one that is affected by this. There's mothers, fathers, family members, friends, communities that are all affected. And justice matters to each and every single one of them. With that being said, have a good night, and I will see you soon.